Oh wow. Didn't realize we were a part of this.
Incredible awkwardness.
Yeah, I don't really know how we ended up here.
We're part of this now.
Yeah, we are part of this. We're the only foreigners in this. What's up, guys? Today I'm taking you with me as I participate in Galungan, a Balinese holiday where they celebrate the victory of Dharma over Adharma. In other words, meaning good against evil. In Balinese Hinduism, Galungan marks the day when the ancestral spirits visit the earth. So this is a 10-day long celebration, the last day being Kuningan, which is today. Kuningan marks the end of the holiday, and this is when the ancestral spirits actually leave Earth and return to heaven. Now, I've lived in Bali for just about 9 days, and surely did not expect any of this to happen or to end up in the celebration. Nonetheless, it was one of the most fascinating and incredible learning experiences of my life, honestly. I had no prior knowledge of Hinduism, specifically Balinese Hinduism, which is particularly different than Hinduism in India. So going into this was really cool because I got to learn all these new things about a religion so different from my own. So let me show you. Wait, what is the celebration called?
Kuningan.
Kuningan. We are celebrating Kuningan. We are going to temple. We are dressed in the traditional kabaya, head to toe. And we are
Balinese uniform.
Balinese uniform for the man. We actually had to wake up at 6 a.m. to be ready for temple at 7. If you knew me, you know I'm not really a morning person, just ask Jordan or Travelite. So that I wasn't too happy about, but I'm also kind of learning that in the Balinese culture, they do wake up quite early, and 6 a.m. is probably even sleeping in for them. But whatever, we got ready, and then before going to temple, Martini, a part of the family we lived with, actually rushed over to me and asked me if I was on my period. Now, at a first, second, I was thinking, that's kind of invasive to ask somebody a kind of question like that, but I politely responded, and she replied, good, then you can go to temple. Now, of course, now I'm like, what do you mean I couldn't go if I was on my period? So I asked her, why couldn't I go? And she responded that if you have menstruation, then you could have negative energy, and then because of that, you can't go to temple. So basically what she's trying to say is when us women are on our period, we have hormones being released, we could have mood swings, we can be, having aches and pains and just unhappy, and it's very important, from what I'm told, to be happy if you want to go to temple. So you have to sit on this?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to sit on this little thing, crisscross applesauce. When you sit down for prayer, the men must sit crisscross applesauce, as I would say, and the women must be kneeling. Kind of the more uncomfortable option if you ask me, but it's okay. And then we start the process of prayer. Now, it's actually quite common to have your own family temple here in Bali. On an island of nearly 4 million people, there are more than 20,000 temples. Crazy, I know, imagine visiting all of those. And so this temple is Martini's family temple.
My name is Gustiayu Martini. I'm from Bali.
Hello, I'm from Bali.
Before you can actually start prayer, you must clean your hands. You do this by brushing them through the smoke of the incense, and then you proceed to grab the first flower. It must be white, and this symbolizes the first god.
Before you do praying, you put your flowers to the incense and then start praying. What do you think on your mind? You say thank you, happy life, or maybe you wish or something like that. When you finish the praying, your flowers put on your hair or in your hair.
After the white flower, then you take a different color flower.
Sometimes you use red. Red is for the Brahma.
Now, for those of you who don't know who Brahma is, I surely didn't. Brahma is the creator god. So this god is in charge of upkeep and the destruction of the world. Now in Balinese Hinduism, there are multiple gods in charge of different things. So there is a god of knowledge, a god of creation, a god of wealth, power, and so on.
3 flowers there. White, red,
Red.
white, and black. Yeah. Red is for Brahma, white is for wind, Vishnu, and black for Shiva.
You pray with different colored flowers for a total of 5 times to the god that represents the particular color of that flower. Afterwards, a member of the family will go to grab the holy water to bless everybody who has finished praying. They do this a total of 3 times to make them clean. To finish off prayer, you are given rice in the palm of your hand. You have to take this rice, put it on your forehead, some in your neck, eat a few of them, and toss it in your hair. This is to symbolize that you have participated in prayer. Once we finished a family temple, we actually had 4 more temples that we were going to go to for a total of 5 throughout the day. A bit exhausting, didn't really know what we were in for, but it was still exciting nonetheless. After Martini's family temple, we actually headed to her husband Ray's family temple because that is where he is born and everybody must visit their family temple.
Whatever you are born, if you are like born in like somewhere like Big Al from Kianyar or something, you married here, you have to go there to your first temple.
Now we're going to go to the big temple with all the people.
3 temples.
3 temples. Already got the rice, looking good. This is really cool. It's really cool to learn about another religion and their practices, and it's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Super interesting experience for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We need this coffee after waking up so early.
This already still good or no? Just
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
this is from the basket.
Yeah, everything from the basket that I can put here like so.
Snack fruit.
So this was in the
Basket.
for the
We
prayers,
call offering.
offerings.
My favorite.
Doesn't it hurt your head?
No,
Not at all.
no at all.
Did you have to practice this?
Yeah, from the kid.
Oh my gosh. Is it heavy?
No, yeah, be happy because lot fruit inside.
Lots of fruit.
Yeah.
Martini told me that the reason for putting the food in the baskets is that they're giving back to the gods what the gods have given to them. This is the same principle for what happens with the flowers. Once we arrived at the temple, this is the 3rd temple that we are visiting now. It is the community temple, so there were a lot of people and we actually had to wait our turn before entering.
If you are full at the temple, you can't go in because not make someone stop you when you do meditation.
Here we proceeded to do the same rituals of prayer that we've already done, but now we're with the big community, so it's a bit of a different energy and it was really cool to be a part of. Aside from prayer, honestly, I was just really impressed in how inviting and welcoming the locals were about sharing their culture, sharing their religion. Evan and I at first were the only foreigners there, but then I did notice a few others join. They're probably staying with homestays just like we are, and the families probably brought them along, so I just thought that was really cool. And on top of that, I'm out here taking pictures, taking videos, getting up in people's faces, and nobody cares. Actually, they're all really excited about it. And also, Martini's niece came up to me and thanked me for making videos about their culture and about the people. And she's mentioning a lot of times people just make videos about the islands and the beautiful nature and the luxury, which is all great, but it is missing that important piece. And it's kind of sad if you think about it that a lot of times we're just focusing on, Bali as being a luxury place that's affordable when there's so much more to offer. So I really appreciated that compliment and for somebody to be excited, and this is where I'm planning on taking these videos. I mean, I feel so blessed to be able to participate in something like this.
Pagi to do it.
Anyways, after this last temple, we thought the day was over, ready to go home and relax. Oh no. Now there is the procession, something I never thought I would end up in. Not really sure how we ended up in this giant parade of people walking, but this is pretty crazy. We're walking throughout the streets of Ubud right now. Oh, so So they each put on that hat? They take turns carrying it?
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to?
No, I'm singing.
Oh, hey! I'll be honest, I felt a little out of place being here, a bit awkward, just being the only foreigner walking through this parade, but at the end of the day, we decided to own it. Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're super blessed to be here, so we walked through it, really proud. Behind me was this giant kind of like stuffed animal lion. It's called a barong, and it's covered in 100% gold. Now, this is to be the god of the community, and what's crazy is because of it being covered in gold, they actually alternate members of the community. About 10 men will go sleep at the temple outside each night to guard the gold from theft. Procession is basically one giant parade where everybody's all dressed up in the traditional clothing and walking through the roads, through the village, protecting it and cleaning up the roads. Now, the first thing we did was head to the temple for one last prayer, one last ritual, and then afterwards we headed back to clean up the roads. Now, when I say cleaning up the roads, I don't literally mean cleaning up the roads from trash and debris. No, what I mean is that, at least from what I understand, is that they believe there are spirits on the sides of the roads, so when we're walking, we'll stop, and then they will give the spirits offerings. And in these offerings, they start cutting up coconut, chicken, and white egg, and then they put that in the offerings to give them good health and protect them.
Like we put banana, egg, or chicken, or fruit, or cake.
As a bystander, looking at this, a little weirded out. I mean, I had no idea what was going on, but at the end of the day, like, hey, these kind of experiences you don't get every day, you know? Celebrating Kuningan was honestly one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had, and I'm really blessed for this family taking me in, sharing their culture, their religion, and the community, welcoming and being so inviting. Such an incredible experience. I'm so glad I participated. Again, Kuningan is basically the last day of the Galungan celebration. It marks the day when the ancestors are returning to heaven. So the whole reason for this day is to say thanks. And they say thanks by doing prayer and these offerings, which they are giving back what has already been given to them. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, or you at least enjoyed being on this adventure with me. If you like my videos, if you want to watch more videos about Balinese culture specifically, because I'm definitely going to focus on that, think about subscribing, turn your notifications on, because this way you'll know when I release my videos, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.
But my English not so good.
No, your English is great. It's better than my Balinese.
My heartbeat. You may be like I'm so serious.
Okay, perfect. We're good. We're good at this plant.